Am I on? Yes, I am on. We're going to get started here shortly. We got about a minute left. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the March membership meeting at the Guild. How's everybody doing tonight? It's, man, the weather's a lot better than it was 2 days ago, I'll say that. Even yesterday was supposed to be so much warmer, but it was chilly. So it's nice to see, and I guess we got the rest of the week is good, so that's nice. That's what I love about spring. We want to start this off with a little sad news. We want to recognize that Terry's husband passed away. I saw Terry here earlier, but Ron Rodell passed away, so our condolences on behalf of the Guild. So always nice to recognize we all go through tough times. So Terry, your thoughts and prayers are our thoughts and prayers are with you. So also St. Patrick's Day to all of you Irish people and, pseudo-Irish, Irish by association. My wife is Irish, so she calls it the High Holy Month. So, we've been celebrating. She did make corned beef and cabbage last night. It was pretty tasty. You guys know the drill. I have, first of all, I need to welcome everybody who's online. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, thank you all for joining us as well. Do we have any first-time visitors here tonight? All right, great. Nice to have you. Thank you for coming. How about the new members? Any new members? Anybody just joined? All right, fantastic. Always happy to have new members, and we're looking forward to either you learning or we learning from you. So thank you for being a part of the Guild. We think we have a pretty good thing here, and we're happy to share it with everyone. We go through our business meeting here the first little bit, and then we'll do show and tell, which everyone loves, and we'll take a break, and we have a program I'm really looking forward to tonight with leveling up your shop from Ed Murphy. So we're excited about that. You guys know me; I like to try to move quickly, so we're going to do that. We have officers' reports. Ron Hall, our vice president, do you have anything specific to talk to tonight? Okay. The next is David Roth, secretary, and I know you want to talk about our upcoming elections. So come on up, Dave.
Thank you, Calvin. Good evening, everyone. All right, good. That's not bad. We'll take that one. All right. So, I'm going to get going. Just relax. Have a seat. We're going to go. Don't worry. You ready? Count me. Watch. All right. We're going to be having our elections up in April. New board members and leadership committee directors will be elected April 15, 2026 via electronic ballot and by in person by voting at the Guild April 15, 2026 general membership meeting. All ballots by email must be received by April 14th, 2026. The Guild must receive 10% of membership a combination of email and in-person votes to obtain a quorum. If you vote by email and attend the meeting, please refrain from voting at the meeting. Your email vote is be sufficient. President will be running as Ron Hall. Vice President of Member Services is Norrin Carpenter. Member at Large is Craig Arnold. The directors' positions will be Carol Shelton for membership, Director of Training, Rich Higgison, and Director of Safety. We're still finalizing the safety nominations. So if you're interested in any of the above positions or wish to nominate someone who is qualified, please contact the 2026 Kansas City Guild Nominating Committee. And I believe that is Craig Arnold and Tim Locke. Please, and Ron Hall. Please submit your nomination on or before March 21st, 2026. So that's coming up. Any questions?
Thank you. All right. Thanks, Dave. Well done. Appreciate that. We're going to move on down. So John Steyer, our treasurer, says there's nothing to report. Craig, I think you have a couple of announcements on a couple of things you're working on. Craig is our member at large.
The wide member? Every time I look at myself on TV, I was like, oh crap, look how big I am. Coming up, we have the April 3rd will be our first Fridays of the season. We will not have the shop open for sale. It's a lot of work, very little return as we found. We will probably have one closer to the July when we have an open house, a national open house opportunity from the National Crafts Council. That is going to be like 1,500 different studios and maker spaces around the country will be open, and we plan to participate with that, and that'll also be in conjunction as an open house for us. Let's see, there was one other thing. I can't remember. Oh, yes. A week from yesterday. Next Tuesday, the 24th, will be the first finishing SIG, which I'm excited to come off. So I've been asked about that for many years, and so finally I get to do this. Nice, boring topic for the first one is proper surface preparation. So many of people come in and I'm like, well, what happened here? And I'm like, well, you didn't sand right, or you didn't scrape or plane right. So it's all that surface preparation stuff we're going to cover. Bring any problems that you've got. We'll look at them, try to figure out what may have gone wrong, what you did right, what you could do better. So, yeah, excited for that.
I'd clarify, you said bring any problems related to surface prep. Okay. Okay. Moving on down, because we all have problems, I can tell you. Going down the list, so Chuck over there in the green, he has some plywood, he has some sanders for sale. So go see Chuck if you want some good deals. He'll set you up. Brian Rohrbaugh handles all of our communications, and he has nothing specific. Our newsletter is put together by Stephen Vanderbrook. Great job by Stephen, and if you have any articles or something cool that you're doing, we'd love to see an article. I think our newsletter is a great thing we all look forward to. So kudos to Stephen and everybody who put a lot of effort into writing articles and that whole endeavor. So Don has books and magazines for sale, same as every month, quarter a magazine or 5 for $1, and books for $1. So that's a fantastic deal. I mean, you could almost buy that just to burn for heat in your house, but it might be good if you read them. Yeah. But fantastic deals over there. Social media, Casey, do you have any announcements tonight? Okay, Casey heads our social media, and just want to remind everybody, we do have a Facebook page. We have a Facebook group. We are on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel, so we have 691 subscribers. So if you're not a subscriber, I don't know why you wouldn't be. So please go and watch some videos and like and subscribe. A lot of good content there. So, Chris, do you have anything to add on that, or anything from the AV and videos? Okay, nothing for Chris. Matt, you have some events you want to come talk through? Matt is head of our director of events.
Basically, just two things tonight. One, Craig already brought it up, and that's by the American Craft Council. It's a National Craft Open Studios weekend, 18 and 19 July. Basically, it sort of works like an open house for us. We're going to keep the shop set up. There won't be any actual work going on in this part of the shop because it's just too dangerous. People bringing their kids and their dogs in here, you know, assuming that people actually come here. We just don't want that kind of liability associated with that. So, but there would be an open shop in the back on the other half, so that people can see what a working shop looks like. That's the whole purpose. In fact, what they write is it's a two-day event. This two-day event will offer guests a rare glimpse into the processes, tools, and inspiration that shape how handmade works are made and provide artists with a critical support in their sales season. Sales is also, Craig suggested that if anyone wants to try to sell anything, set it up in the classroom and people can go in there and see what you got, you know, just put it on the tables or do whatever you have to do in order to sell your stuff in the classroom. It costs us it costs us $50 in order to participate, but you also can be individual members. As an artist, it would cost you $40 for the year. And then if you wanted to put yourself down where people, your name and your location will go on a national map. And they're going to promote your location nationally. People aren't going to come from New Jersey to see me, but except for those who are still looking for me. But I can't go back to New. People always say, "Why don't you go back where you came from?" You don't understand. When you're from New Jersey, you got to have permission to go back home. You just don't wander into the state. Okay, moving along. The other big thing I wanted to talk about is our Mercy project, Children's Mercy. That is really going really well. We took a bunch of samples over there for them to look at, and they says, boy, you have totally undersold your program. What you have to offer is just so far in excess of what they had expected. And so George is still going to continue doing all the puzzles. Not all the puzzles. We can certainly use help. And the reason I put this up here, a lot of people get nervous about making a puzzle because you got those keys and everything else. It's pretty intricate work. Unless you've done it for a while, you feel like, I don't want to screw up a piece of wood. But make a simple puzzle like this here. I don't know if you can pull in on that. There are no keys in this puzzle. It's just nice curves of wood. And so anyone could sit down at the scroll saw and make that in a very short time. So George is kind of like our puzzle champion. Tops, Jerry from the Turners is our top champion. They produce them by the hundreds. Boxes, I'm gonna stick with taking care of the boxes for right now. For instance, I got a box there. They love the boxes. They love the sliding type boxes like we teach in the rough to ready class. They went crazy over that, and you can decorate it as much as you want. They even suggested maybe putting a message inside for a particular kid, you know, to give us the name of the kid, and we can laser burn it in there, a little hallmark message in there for them. This is such a great project, a philanthropic project that we've stumbled onto. And then trucks, the toy trucks. I need a champion for the toy trucks. Someone who will take care of making sure we have a work day here where we knock out a couple of hundred, get the supplies and all that kind of stuff. So that's the main thing on that. Any questions on events? If not, that's it.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Lots of great opportunities for us to be involved with the community and for you all to be involved in the events. So Appreciate that, Matt. Carol, do you have announcements tonight? Carol is our Director of Membership.
Matches my sweater.
Oh, you can do that.
I get a couple of things only. We're at $7.86 for renewal, which is great. And we have a couple of more T-shirts in for women that I wanted to share with you. We have a purple version and we have a blue version. And then these two shirts, we now have more of those as well. Okay, so if you were waiting for those, we have those back in stock. That's it. Quick and dirty.
All right, thank you. Yeah, last time I asked, there was only mediums, and I don't think you want to see me in a medium. Not at all. So it's good that we have more of those. Programs, I don't believe I've seen Tom here tonight, so we'll skip over. Safety, Steve Hicks, our Director of Safety. Come on up, Steve. I know you had some words you wanted to say.
Thanks. Good evening, everybody. Last time we met, or that I was here last month, reminded everybody that we are currently updating our safety rules for the KCWG shop. Those will be available online, and then I think we'll have some printed copies here, so we're very close to getting that done. And I reminded everybody, or shared with everybody, that in the March newsletter, I put together kind of a comparison with several revised safety rules where we've added and changed some things, added some detail that we didn't have before. So if you haven't had a chance to review that March newsletter, or if you have questions, you'll find an article in there. I'm hoping that Stephen got everything formatted just right. It was kind of a long one. And comparison, you know, side-by-side comparison and so forth. So always be sure, if you haven't had a chance to look at that and you have questions, please give that a look. For the April newsletter, I'll be summarizing, we've got a handful of new safety rules for equipment and machinery that we did not include in version 2. It'll look a little bit different, a little bit shorter, but it'll give a quick, brief paragraph of kind of what's covered in each of those new safety rules. So please pay attention to that. And at any time, if you have any questions about anything we've put down in there, feel free to give me a call. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, moving on down. We're getting down there. The next section is rough to ready. It's headed by John Sloss, and then a lot of volunteers. Just to remind everybody, there are lots of those classes available. So if you're looking to get qualified to use the shop, the rough to ready is a great way to do that. Sponsorship. Mike Blake, you wanted to come up and speak. Mike is our Director of Sponsorship.
Thank you, Cal. Just a quick word for sponsorship. Obviously, we have our raffle table over here. Let's not forget about that. We are accepting donations for the raffle table. I will ask, we've recently been inundated with some items that people are leaving in the office back there. We don't have a name on the item. We don't know where it came from. Somebody recently donated a bunch of pipe clamps, and I have no idea where they came from. So if you're going to donate something, at least put your name on it so we know who to acknowledge. Anything that's in workable condition, we are getting some things that are considered scrap, and we're not really a scrap yard. So let's try to make it a usable component or product when you make a donation. Other than that, the T-shirts are in. We're working on sponsorship dollars. They're hard to come by. If you guys have any donations or would like to make a donation, whether it's an anonymous donation or receive some recognition, we are accepting donations at the Guild, and that's pretty much all I've got right now.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Training, Rich Higginson. Come on up, Rich. You always have a lot of stuff.
So, first thing, one of the most exciting things that's going to happen this next year is we've got the Patrick Moore class coming, And that class just opened last night. So we had a little bit of a snafu with the announcement coming out, but that did open last night. This is one of my attempts to bring in an external artisan to the guild. Most of our trainings are taught by internals, but when I find an external that's got something special to offer, I try to see if we can't get them to come here. Patrick Moore is known for a technique he calls stereotomy. And what he does, I don't know if you can see in the pictures up there, he's got those crisscrossing beams, and he has a method for doing that. He went over to Europe and interned in Europe to learn how to do that. And he's got a way of doing that that does not involve calculus. So that's going to be one of those classes that I don't think you're going to want to miss. So then, in addition to that, we have Beginning Wood Inlay is going to be opening up on March 31st. Wayne teaches that class. He does a phenomenal job. If you've taken a Wayne Peterson class, you know that they're just really wonderful classes to take. And so he is going to be offering his Beginning Wood Inlay again. Then on April 7th, the project finishing class is going to come back. I consider this class to be one of our core classes, along with basic and intermediate and the introduction to hand tools, is the finishing class. As Craig says, a project is not finished until it's finished. So you might want to jump on that. Opening April 14th, we've got the rescheduled Craftsman picture frame class. That class was originally going to be offered in January, but then we had one of our freak snowstorms. Don't know why they would happen in January versus March, but we had them in January, and so we had to reschedule, and that class is going to be happening on May 16th. And then on April 21st, I'm very excited to mention that our own VP candidate is going to be teaching a class on essential joinery, focusing on just hand-cut dovetails. So if you've ever wanted to learn how to do hand-cut dovetails, this class is going to focus just on that. And so it's going to be a really good class. Then in addition, we've got our skill builders. Reminder, skill builders are typically the first Saturday of the month at 2 o'clock. These are free. They are open for people to come to, and you don't have to sign up or anything. On April 4th, Alex Baer is going to be teaching on chair building, a quick and simple way of making a chair. And then in May 2nd, Mike Jones is going to be teaching a session on building a table saw sled. So if you've ever wanted to know a way of building a table saw sled, he's going to show you how to do that in just a couple hours there. And then on June 6th, Grace Ambrose is going to be teaching on how to make milk paint. July 4th, we won't have a skill builder. And then on August 1st, Bob Benecki is coming back. He is the Type Bond rep, and he is going to be doing his session on wood gluing. We had him come back last year. That was a very successful session. He said if we wanted him to come back, we had to get him pretty soon because he is going to retire. So this will be the last time to see him. So thank you.
All right, thanks, Rich. Lots of great opportunities. So if you see a class that you want, make sure you jump on it because they don't last long, as a lot of people know. Moving on down, the last section is to talk about our SIGs, our special interest groups. You've heard a little bit about Craig's finishing SIG. March 22nd is our hand tool SIG. That's led by Wayne Peterson. That's the fourth Sunday of the month from 2 to 4. March 24th, which is next Tuesday, is our wood carving SIG. And Dan, is there anything special, or is it just an open season like usual? It's back in the hand tool room. What's that? Oh, we have a conflict in the solution. Okay, I think you're signed up for that room. So, yeah, I think you're good. So that would be any kind of carving. These guys will set you up and set you on a nice road to amazing work. Laser engraver SIG. The next one is March 25th, led by Curtis Alexander. That's also a chance to get certified typically. So if you're interested in the laser, March 25th, that's 7 p.m. And then the last SIG is the CNC group. They've already had the March meeting. The next one is April 20th, and that's typically the third Monday of the month from 6:30 to 7. So that is it. We made it through. Any questions so far? Now it's time for show and tell. So Jim Bainey, if you want to come up and lead the charge on the show and tell, and if you have a show and tell item, come on up and line up and be ready to roll. And reminder, if you come up, keep the mic up to your mouth so we can all hear you. And looking forward to seeing the great work. Here you go, Jim.
So, who's first, Kevin? So, I'm telling you right now, I don't see any humor at all in that Harbor Freight cap sitting over there. All right, have at it.
This is a paper towel holder in work. This is a factory fake finish piece of garbage that I don't like. I wanted it to look old, so I took my great-great-grandfather Thomas Siegel Martin's shovel handle and cut off the end, and that's going to be the top. It's been a finishing, where's Craig? It's been a finishing wonder. I used the rest of the shovel handle to practice some finishing on it. Oh. And so I did some black tea, one part ammonia, 9 parts tea there. And then I did some steel wool and vinegar iron on the ends. And then I did a brown mahogany stain that was over the steel wool vinegar there, but not there, so I could compare. And then I really had fun wiping some alcohol on and torching it. And I did not set off the flame detector in the shop, so that was good. I learned something. The base is going to be this piece of pine from Home Depot or someplace. I don't know, a piece of garbage. But anyway, I'm making it look old, and the next steps is milk paint and all kinds of other stuff to make it look like it used to be painted but then worn out.
So, have you got any idea of the species of this?
Well, it might be hickory, an old shovel handle.
You
Could
got
be.
any idea how old it is?
Well, it's over 100 years old.
And you cut
'Cause
it?
that's how old, yeah. Well, I've got several of them.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's-
So you make weapons or whatever
Yes.
else out of the rest of them?
Yes. And so I'll miss April's, but in May I'll be done. I'll bring it back.
Okay.
There
And
you go.
this is for your own
Yeah,
own
for in
house?
the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got any ambition to do a couple of them?
No,
Just thought I'd ask.
I do onesies.
All
That's
right.
it.
Very good. Anybody got any questions about, this is pretty unique, a shovel handle for repurposing a shovel handle. Pretty unique. Thanks for bringing that in.
You bet.
Anybody got any questions about this? That was quick. Matt?
It's a box made out of sycamore. I like the grain, the quarter sawn grain of sycamore. It really is beautiful stuff. I made a whole bunch of them.
For Christmas, didn't you?
It's been a few years, actually.
Because my wife has one of these sitting on the,
Well, it could be. Oh, yes,
Countertop.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, for the
Yeah.
Christmas dinner.
She
yeah.
won.
I think I donated about 3 or 4 of them at least for the show. For the Christmas dinner. Yeah.
okay? So,
It's just a real simple finish. I think I just put a poly finish on that thing. Generally, I use oil and wax.
and you use quarter sawn sycamore? Mm-hmm. You like working with that?
There's not much to it really. I mean, you just do it on the saw, and I don't use a scraper. I use just Rob always used to say sandpaper is a poor man's scraper, where the person that doesn't really know what he's doing, scraper is what it comes down to.
So what are you going to do with this? And the reason I ask, because my wife's is sitting on the countertop with nothing in it.
So there's nothing in this one either. Are you looking for a matching pair, is what you're saying?
No.
No.
Hell no. Are you?
No. This one will be donated for the Mercy Project.
Okay.
They really, really, really loved our boxes. And so I'm asking people to make boxes. They can be really simple, plain like this here. You can paint it. You can, just if you want to start making boxes.
So what happens with the things the items that you make for Children's Mercy? You just give them to somebody there and they distribute them?
They have a team there. They have a whole. You walk into the building and it says, like, they have 16 buildings, and there's one on the building of giving or something like that. I mean, there's a whole building that's just for the giving people, and they will distribute it to the kids. The kids are there from birth to age of 21, and so almost anything is appropriate for them, and they will distribute to them to the kids as they see needed.
Okay.
So it's a wonderful project. I mean, so if you're like me and you make 20 of something, and your wife says, "What the hell am I going to do with the other 19?" Donate the other 19 to the Mercy Project. That's a really good idea.
I got a box for you.
Okay. Okay.
Any questions about Matt's project or his box? Thank you. Hi.
Howdy.
So tell us about these boxes.
Yeah, so I've tried to make these shaker oval boxes a couple of times in the past, and they always turn out something suboptimal, something that I'm just not happy with. And then Wayne's brother, Don Peterson, came and taught this class last week, and just answered any questions, filled in any blanks that I still had, and made it a very easy process. So it was a fun build.
And these are made out of cherry?
These are cherry. I would probably not recommend doing that for the first time. Maple or something would probably be easier, but it was nice to have some learning moments on there.
Are you going to put a finish on them?
There's already wax on there, soft
Okay.
wax. So
That's as far as you're going to take the finish?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'm not gonna put anything in there that's gonna cause issues.
You said your projects before didn't turn out the way you'd like. What changed here with these?
Yeah, Don and all and all his. I mean, I think he had everything just set up, ready to go. Mine was kind of like, I mean, this isn't really what I focus on, and so he had just, I don't know, everything set up as if you were to professionally do it. I mean, he had all the steps down, and yeah, and I just had some kind of like lead pipe in the garage that I would hit things against, and so I don't know. It was a lot more polished.
One of the things that stand out to me with these is how thin the sides and the pieces are. How basically did you create that thin a material?
Yeah, so that was already supplied, so it was already at that thickness, but we have books over building shaker oval boxes in the library, and there's a chart in there that will tell you exactly how thick you'd want like each size, because each size will have different thickness of lids and maybe the siding also.
So you didn't get to participate in basically cutting the thickness of the material?
Thank goodness, no, yeah. But I mean, I know how to resaw a board, so I'm glad he didn't make me do that.
All right. So what are you going to use these for?
Who knows yet? I might just keep other little boxes inside of them. Just keep seeing how small I can go. But maybe make one for like a big old cowboy hat or something. I don't know. Boxes all the way down.
That'd be interesting. Make a cowboy hat out of that thin material. Yeah. Question.
So, do you recommend the class?
Oh my gosh, that was the best class I ever took, besides any that I teach. Stools and chairs, there are more coming up this year, so be on the lookout. But yeah, no, it was great fun. I took this class last weekend, and Mary May's the weekend before that, and I just kind of, my goodness, the training director here has got to be
Just fabulous, right?
yeah.
Just on top of everything.
Yeah, really bringing in some good talent. Again, chairs and stools, be on the lookout for them.
So just FYI, for anybody who's interested, when Don was here, we talked about him possibly coming back sometime in the near future to teach one of those, so that we may have another shaker box class. And Mary May also talked about possibly coming back sometime in the fall, maybe teaching a little bit longer class. So those are things to be kind of on the lookout that may be in the works.
Anybody got any questions for?
Did you use copper nails?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, copper nails.
Where'd you get them? Or did he
so
supply those?
he did supply them. I have the
dbgurney.com.
Okay.
Or I don't know
All right.
about their website.
dbgurney.com. Okay.
Source that I can find for 'em right
yeah. So that
now.
yeah.
The old shop is
And then once we were hammering them in there, the steel from the hammer would discolor the wood, so we took some acid to that, and it took it away real fast. I had never really worried about that before in my projects, so I don't know. It was fun to see that, and it worked like magic.
You need, at break, I highly suggest you look at the detail of the sides of these, how they put these things together. That's really intriguing. Good job.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody got any other questions about these? Awesome project. Hi, John.
I didn't make this, although I am a toolmaker, but I found it in a drawer. I have no idea where I got it and what it does. All I know is it'd be very difficult to make because it has some very fine, these wheels have hundreds of little points on them. And how they got them embedded into those nylon rings, I have no idea.
So it appears to me as if you chuck this into a drill press, you've got a reamer for. Have you tried that?
Yeah, I tried it here, and it would rasp out a little bit, but it sort of bottoms out real fast, so it just made grooves and wouldn't really move much material, and those points just roughed up the surface more than.
So if you put it in a oscillating
that might help because
where it goes real fast.
Yeah, I think it'd have to oscillate because it just cut a little bit deep, and then it hit the washer, so it wouldn't go any deeper.
Has anybody got any suggestions?
Looks like it might.
Can you repeat that?
What?
Oh, so basically, you're saying roll it over a flat surface and create some texture? Yes. Okay.
It would. That's right.
Very good. Well, if let us know if you find anything else in that drawer that you can't figure out.
Yeah, I'm usually losing things instead of finding things.
Been there. Thanks, John.
Hello, everyone. So I have a couple trays here. This one's Eclipse, not spiders. Looks a lot like spiders. But, that one's sold, so I thought I'd better bring it in and show everybody to get. And then this one here is with the birds, the hummingbirds. If you guys attended skill builder class that I was doing. I was cutting out one of my little birds and forgot to take the bushing off, so the bird was 1/8 an inch too small all the way around. But he became a picture frame. So didn't made use of everything. So just showing different things you can do with the router inlays.
So the material you used is mostly walnut?
This one's walnut, cherry, and that's cherry there. Mahogany, Paducah, sycamore, tigerwood, maple, and maple.
Okay, and this one is?
This one here was quite busy. It has 30 inlays. Each of those suns has 10 with all the beams.
And how did you do that?
Well,
the inlays?
With a router and a template.
Okay.
And basically, because they're so small, I had these were red cedar, and I just had a piece of red cedar laid out, cut as many as I could that would fit, and just made the grooves for them. And then because they're so small, then I just resawed the lumber, and they fell out, the little pieces, so because it was a lot
insert them that way.
Yeah, yes,
So,
safer and quicker and everything. But
so basically, then you did it with the templates with a handheld router.
yes, with a plunge router.
Okay.
Yeah, and everything, and
And you dowel the sides, or is those just decorative?
decorative, and I made the plugs with the drill
Okay.
bit package I have and everything. So it's a lot of fun.
It's kind of intricate. The backs of these have got as much detail as the fronts.
Yeah. Well, it's this on the backs. You can kind of see the let's see. That's mahogany, maple, and walnut, and that was a wide piece of. I just laminated those three together, and then took my saw and cut them down to the depth of the base.
So what did you put for a finish on these?
Shellac.
Okay.
3 layers of shellac on each one, all of them.
Okay. You like using shellac?
I'm learning, so I don't know.
You ever heard of Odie's oil?
It dries. It dries fast. The shellac dries so fast. I don't know if I need to revisit Craig and.
So what's the purpose of these? Are you giving them away, or for your own use, or?
Yeah, I'm just this one here. My neighbor wants this one here. I'll find a home for. I got about 8 or 10 of them. My wife's like, you need to sell them. Nobody wants to buy one. Yeah, there's that too.
First Friday.
Yeah, all that. So
Okay.
anyway,
Anybody got any questions?
any question?
Thanks for bringing that in.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Nice work.
I made a set of 6 stools for a restaurant that just opened in Columbus Park. Made them here at the Guild, still mostly with hand tools, which not so fun to do 6 of something. They're oak. And then the seats are sycamore. The seats, the bar top there, the sycamore slab, and the seats come out of the same slab as the bar top. They're finished. This one has milk paint that I mixed to match, a spot color that their designer provided them with. And then this is like a trim enamel paint. They're oak, so I didn't fill any of the pores of the wood, so you can still see a lot of the nice wood grain, even with the Sherwin-Williams like trim urethane. And the seats are finished with a mix of equal parts of spar urethane, boiled linseed oil, and mineral spirits. I wanted something that's easily refreshable. They're in a restaurant. I actually took them from the restaurant. I have to bring them back in the morning before it opens. So they've already been used, and the paint's wearing really well. I left them a little jar of the finish that they can refresh the seats with as they need. As per usual with my furniture, everything was done by hand and eye, not using any jigs or drill press or anything to drill the angles. You can see there's one kind of wonky leg here, but The good thing about three-legged furniture is that it doesn't rock, even if you have a wonky leg. Yeah, I think that's it. It was interesting to figure out a height that worked for the bar height and also worked for all different size people, and to think about what should the height of the stretcher be. If you're taller than me, you can probably rest on the stool with your feet on the ground. My size and shorter, the stretchers are kind of a nice place to rest. Really short people told me they're used to their legs just dangling, so don't even worry about it.
Cut the legs off.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, the restaurant's called Dear Donna. It's open Thursday through Sunday in Columbus Park. It's a breakfast and lunch spot. Yeah.
So how long did it take you to make one of these?
So I made them in batches. Like I made I made a set of 6. So I made all 18 legs plus some extras at once, and I used it as an opportunity. It's sort of my first commission, so to track the time that I spent on each of the parts, to think about then for future commissions or future furniture that I'm making, how I could, then extrapolate. Okay, if someone asked for a set of chairs, how long might it take? I would say it was like 4 solid weekends in the shop, but there were things that I could have done to speed up. I mean, next time I do this, I would make a pattern on the route and use it on the router table and use a router bit to cut the bevel instead of the bandsaw, and then spending a lot of time cleaning up with a spoke shave. But also it was mostly just a fun project. I did these really as a favor to one of my closest friends who owns the restaurant.
Okay, so you did all 6 of these just using hand tools?
Pretty much. I used the joiner to rough out the taper on the legs, and then I cleaned them all up with hand tools. But the stretchers and the seats, I used the bandsaw to cut out the seat, but everything was done with hand tools, yes.
Awesome. And you're going to do more? Did I understand?
Yeah, Alex and I are teaching a stool class in about 2 weeks. So the stool you would make in that class, if you took it, is similar to it's smaller, but it's all the same principles of construction. And then what you can do is take those principles and then design things for your own space or your own body is something that's really interesting to think about when you're designing furniture. How do I make something that fits me and my family and my space specifically? These are really not difficult to make. So, with a weekend of getting the fundamentals, anyone here could do them.
And you handmade all the finish?
I handmade the seat and then this paint I purchased. I was having trouble mixing. I was trying a blue that wasn't really working, and then I was having trouble mixing a milk paint that matched this. They have a designer who gave them a set of colors for the restaurant. There's a brand and all, there's paint throughout. And then this is a spot color that's on other things in the restaurant. So this is just purchased from Sherwin-Williams. They're trim urethane, which is the most expensive paint they make, but it is really good for furniture that's going to wear hard. Also because if you are using sort of a ring porous open grain thing like oak, it will still show. If you get up close, it doesn't look plastic. It's plasticky to the touch, but you can still see the quality of the wood.
Questions? Nice project.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing it in. Good luck, mate. Oh,
those look great. First of all, was the project profitable for you?
I did it as, like I said, I did this project for one of my best friends who's opening a restaurant with small margins who simply can't afford custom furniture.
Yeah.
And they paid for all my material costs and then some, plus a substantial trade for credit at the restaurant. So
good deal. That's a good deal.
For me, that would work. If I were to sell stools like this, I would charge $400 or $500 per stool. Probably, it's custom handmade furniture.
Yeah.
Like my chairs, I sell for between $1,100 and $1,500. So
Okay.
yeah.
The other thing I wanted to know is, since it's going into a commercial area where people come in, are there any guidelines or criteria regarding weight or limits along those lines that you had to be aware of and follow?
So I did reference different suggestions for size and height. I expanded the seat to be slightly wider than I normally would make it in order to accommodate a bunch of different bodies. And then these are oak, dead straight grain oak legs. You can put a heavy thing or person on this, and it should, if you're gonna tip and sit on the one leg, don't do that. But I haven't looked into if someone can sue my ass if they fall off a stool. But You know, my name's not really on them, so. So, yeah.
Any other questions? Awesome project.
Thank you.
Okay, I got a project. Chris, you bringing it up? Okay, so that's the, okay, basically, like I said a couple months ago, I've gone to the dark side. Considered myself somewhat of a purist when it came to woodworking, and I ended up purchasing a CNC machine, which is a Shaper Origin, and it's basically a handheld router that's programmable. I didn't have a work surface in my small shop. I have a 2.5 car garage, and it's packed. Everything I own in my garage in terms of bigger machinery is on a mobility kit, so storage is a huge problem. So I wanted a table that I could easily store. And I got online, I found, I modified a couple of projects that I found. And this is the table that I built. So you can see there that's my shaper in the background. And I put 3 strips each way of T-track and the fasteners that I can use to work on whatever I'm working on with that machine. You want to go to the next one? Next slide. That's it, tipped up in the vertical position, so I can store it easily. It's on casters. I can just roll it around and get it out of the way. There it is. And that table is 4 foot square, and in the footprint that it takes there is basically 2 by 4, which fits back and easily. I can roll it out of the way. The legs fold down, so it's really, and then I tighten them up with the T-bolts. It's really stable. I mean, I sat on it, and I'm close to 200 pounds, and it was solid. So, yeah, it was an expensive project because I made it out of Baltic birch plywood. 2 sheets of Baltic birch plywood cost me almost $300. So, and then the T-track in it, I scrounged the casters. So, but yeah, it's a great project, and I got another work surface. So, I didn't put a finish on it. The other side of it, the flip side of it, is flat, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. But I really enjoy that addition to my shop, and I'd love to help anybody else that wants to make one of those, if you so desire. It's effective in terms of minimizing the space that it takes. Thanks.
Hey, Jim, you'd be proud of me this week. Number 1, I didn't go to Harbor Freight. Number 2, I bought some Otis oil, so I'm going to see how it's like. So, yeah. Okay, now it's time. Thank you for all the show and tells, great projects, wonderful work you all are doing. Really appreciate you sharing your work. It's time for our break. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, so feel free to get up and go get a snack, get something to drink, come over and see the raffle table. And Ed Murphy, I have not met you yet, so if you're here, come on up and introduce yourself. So we'll see you guys in about 10 minutes after the break.
Your safety and the safety of all members when using any of the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild's hand or power tools is the #1 concern of your safety committee and the board of directors of the Guild. Our presentation today will cover your introduction to the safety rules and requirements of the Guild's various edge, oscillating, and disc sanders, and how to safely operate these machines. Keep in mind that this video only covers the safety concerns of these machines and is not a complete training program for the use of any of these sanders. Hi, my name is John Waltemeyer, and welcome to another edition of the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild ongoing series of machine safety videos. If you need assistance on setting up one of these sanders or any machine in the shop, please see the on-duty shop foreman for assistance. He or she is there to act as your main resource to keep you safe, provide advice, and assist you to successfully complete your project. It is important to remember while in the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild's shop, you must wear OSHA-approved safety glasses with side shields always. Wearing your normal glasses in the shop is prohibited, and all safety glasses must be ANSI Z87-1 rated. The edge disc and oscillating sanders we currently have in service are a Grizzly 9-inch oscillating edge belt sander, a General 6-inch edge belt sander, a Grizzly oscillating spindle sander, and a Grizzly combination belt and 12-inch disc sander. These machines are meant to be used for lightly sanding the edge, end, or curved contours of your project. Before starting up any of the sanders, please make sure to turn on the dust collection system and make sure that the proper blast gates are open. These machines are not meant to be used for removing large amounts of material from the edges of your project. This should be done on a jointer or by hand. Because the belt or disc is traveling at a high rate of speed, be especially aware as you press your work into the belt, disc, or spindle, since it will grab the workpiece out of your hands if you should press it too hard against the belt or at an odd angle. This can cause injury to your fingers and literally pull the work from your hands and send it flying across the shop. Do not wear loose clothing or gloves while using these or any machines in the shop. Loose-fitting jewelry should be removed while working in the shop, and long hair should be tied back and out of the way. Also, note if the belt or disc appears to be newly installed on the sander. Newer belts, disc, or sleeves tend to have much better abrasion, but will also tend to grab your work, and you need to be prepared for that. Always make sure your work is supported and that your fingers are safely out of the way of the belt, disc, or spindle. When using the disc sander, be sure that you press your work only into the half of the disc that is traveling in a downward direction to the work table. Never push your work into the disc as it emerges from the table. This will likely end up having your work yanked out of your hands and send your work flying off the machine or slam it back into your fingers, causing serious injury. Avoid having your hands in any awkward position that might cause your hand to slip into the belt or disc. Avoid trying to sand small pieces that prevent you from maintaining a firm grip on your workpiece. Consider using a screw clamp to hold your work and never allow the clamp to come in contact with the machine's abrasive surfaces. While it may be difficult to maintain the 3-inch rule on these machines, it's always wise to keep that rule in mind and make sure that you can safely sand your piece without risk of injury. Keep your work on the table or against a stop to ensure it is secure and manageable. Never leave other pieces sitting loosely on the table, as they can vibrate into the sanding belt, drum, or disc and become projectiles that can injure you or someone nearby or damage the machine. Remember, the edge, disc, and oscillating sanders are meant to remove material only at the rate that the abrasive is designed for. Applying too much pressure can damage the belt, disc, or drum and render it unusable, tear a hole in it, or generate so much heat that the abrasive becomes unusable. If any repair or replacement needs to be performed on these machines, please ask the on-duty shop foreman for assistance. If the belt or disc needs to be cleaned, use the available gum rubber block to clean as much debris as you can from the belt, disc, or drum. This will help extend the life of the abrasive and will improve the efficiency of your sanding operation. Use this block with extreme caution, as it will tend to pull out of your hands if you aren't prepared for it. When you're finished sanding, turn off the machine, wait for it to come to a complete stop, turn off the attached dust collector, and take a moment to clean up the area on and around the machine for the next person. For the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild, this is John Waltemeyer. Always work safe, and thanks for watching.
Hi, my name is Kitsy Dingley, and welcome to another episode of the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild ongoing series of machine safety videos. Today's video will introduce you to the safety concerns of the ShopFox 15-inch wide belt sander. Keep in mind that, like all safety videos, this video only covers the safety concerns of the ShopFox wide belt sander and is not a complete training program for the use of this sander. When in the shop, please direct any questions about using this or any other machine to the shop foreman. He or she is there as your main resource to keep you safe and provide assistance in completing your project successfully. And always remember, the most important of safety concerns is to wear approved safety glasses with side shields at all times while in our shop. The wide belt sander is for sanding any wide, flat panels on your project. The ShopFox sander uses a 15-inch wide sanding belt. This sander also has an open-end design so that you could sand panels wider than 15 inches. However, this practice is not encouraged because our shop has other wide belt sanders capable of sanding panels up to 37 inches in one pass. To ensure that your stock contacts the feed rollers, the minimum length of any stock being fed into the ShopFox sander is 14 inches, and the minimum thickness is 3/16 of an inch. Sanding stock to a thickness that is less than 3/16 of an inch is possible, but to prevent damage to the machine and your project, you must use a backer board. There are no in-feed and out-feed tables on any of our wide belt sanders, so that you must make sure that the area is clear on both the in-feed and the out-feed sides of the table. The control panel consists of the following: power indicator light, feed table on and off buttons, sanding belt on and off buttons, and an emergency stop button. Note also the emergency stop panic bar at the end of the in-feed side of the feed belt table. Emergency stop buttons and bars are for the immediate stopping of the machine, as in case of an emergency. Do not use them in the regular process of shutting down the machine, as the process is abrupt and it's hard on the machine. To get started, turn on the air supply to the sander, start the dust collector, adjust the table height to material thickness, raising the table until the stock has resistance sliding under the pressure roller. Turn on the feed belt, turn on the sanding belt. Be careful not to allow your fingers or clothing to get pinned between the board and the feed belt. Feed pieces individually through the sander. Do not feed multiple pieces through at the same time to prevent kickback of one or more pieces. Feed the stock flat on the belt, supporting the free end. Support the free end of the stock as it exits the machine as well. The wide belt sander is for finish sanding, not for thickness reduction. The sander can only move small amounts of material per pass. The table is raised by turning the hand wheel on the side. The hand wheel has bumps on the inside of the wheel. The maximum change of thickness is 1 bump on the wheel. Making a pass that removes a lot of stock causes poor sanding results and may in fact destroy the sanding belt, cause a kickback, or damage your project. When you've finished your sanding, turn off the sander in the following order: sanding belt, feed belt, dust collector, and air supply. Don't forget to clean up your work area. This is Kitsy Dingley, and thanks for watching.
No, we have not located our presenter. So I'm sorry that you're still here and there's no program. So you get to go home an hour early. And I hope you enjoyed the program as it was. Good show and tell. You know, good cookies. And thanks to all of you for being here. Feel free to help pick up the chairs, set up the shop. We could use your help. Everybody have a great night. Thank you.
This has been a production of the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild. A special thank you to our guest today, to the Guild's leadership committee, and to all of our sponsors.
Coffee in a thermos, dust on our boots, name tags on flannels, pencils tucked in our loops, laying out a straight line, chalk snaps like a tune, old pine on the workbench, smells like late afternoon. We got grain and grit, we got callous hands, every board tells a story in this little band, from a rough cut dream to a satin shine, with a woodworking club on county line. Yeah, we measure twice, then we cut that plan, all hearts, all wood, all standing man to man, push stick on the rip fence,
By searching for
eyes on the mark,
and remember to
drills by
subscribe
clean
button
circle,
and ring the bell for
blue
notifications.
tape catching the spark, handsaw singing steady, hammer taps in time, joints fit together like your shoulder next to mine. We got grain and grit, we got callous hands, every board tells a story in this little band, from a rough cut dream to a satin shine, we're the woodworking club on county line. Yeah, we square it up, bring the edges true, all heart, all wood, built strong like me and you. Yeah, from scrapping boxes to heirloom